Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today for another Twilight Zone video in my Twilight Zone ranking series where I rank every episode of the original Twilight Zone from my least favorite to my favorite. Today I'm going to be talking about number 81, Long Live Walter Jameson, written by Charles Beaumont and directed by Anton Leader. This is a season 1 episode, and as always there will be episode spoilers. So Long Live Walter Jameson is often considered a classic episode of the Twilight Zone. And it doesn't quite hit classic status for me. I like the episode quite a bit, but I don't love it. And I think the reason for that is because while I think most of the episode is solid, the only thing that's truly memorable about it is the ending, in my opinion. So Kevin McCarthy is good as Walter Jameson. The rest of the cast is fine. So this one is about a man named Walter Jameson, and he's a history professor, and he seems to know a lot about history, especially the Civil War. And he's going to dinner over a colleague's house, a man named Kittredge. He also happens to be engaged to Kittredge's daughter named Susanna. So the men talk when Jameson arrives, and we find out that Kittredge is suspicious of Jameson, even more so when he finds an old Civil War picture where Jameson looks exactly like someone from that time period. So eventually Jameson confesses. He says that an alchemist did something to him. We don't really know what it is, but that's okay. I don't need to know. It's the Twilight Zone. And this basically made him stop aging, so he's been around a really long time. He also says that he sometimes thinks about ending things, like he has a gun, but he doesn't have the courage to do so. So now Kittredge doesn't want Jameson to marry his daughter, and Jameson ignores this, and he and Susanna plan to be married very soon anyways. There's also another woman that pops up in the story here and there, and it turns out she's a bit older, and she eventually stops Jameson. She wants to talk with him. We find out that this was an ex of his, and of course she's aged even though he hasn't. That's why she's older. She refuses to let him hurt another younger woman, so she shoots him. And at this point, in my opinion, the episode gets really good. So Kittredge finds Jameson, and he's slowly aging more and more. And I have to say, this is a pretty impressive effect, especially considering when this Twilight Zone episode was made. And when Susanna enters the room, all she finds is dust. So, like I said, I feel like the ending part of this episode is great and really memorable, but I feel while the rest of the episode has some interesting things to say, it's really just very talky and nothing too exciting or great, but the ending definitely elevates it a little bit. So overall, that's why Long Live Walter Jameson comes in at number 81 on the list for me. As always, feel free to leave me a comment on whether you liked this episode, Long Live Walter Jameson, or not. Thanks for your support, and thanks for watching.